We don't have much time left, but I do want to squeeze in this final question tonight. It comes from Jeff Heritage. Jeff, where are you? Good evening.
Could Nigel Farage's Reform Party become a major political party?
Thank you. This week, a YouGov poll for the first time put Reform ahead of all the other parties. Could Reform become a major political party? Briefly, Nick Nairn.
I think I come back to what I've said is when the mainstream parties aren't delivering on the things that we really want and care about, the NHS, infrastructure, the economy, all of those things, if that's not happening, people will start to look to more extremist policies and parties. And I think that's happening right now. When I was getting ready to come to this tonight, my wife said, you can't go on there looking like Wurzel Gummidge, you need to get a haircut. I went and got my haircut, and my hairdresser says, what are you doing tonight? I said, I'm going on debate night. He went, tell them I'm voting Reform. A hairdresser, where did that come from? Do you know? So, yes, there is a political vacuum, and it's dangerous.
Megan Gallagher, they are breathing down your neck in Scotland, Reform. Are they going to become a mainstream, large political party here?
I think this speaks to what a lot of audience members have said this evening. People are scunnered with politics, they're scunnered with politicians. We've got to listen to that. So the Scottish Conservatives are listening to this. That's why, you know, under our new leadership of Russell Finlay, we are not going to take any votes for granted whatsoever going into the next Scottish parliamentary election.
Councillor Thomas Kerr, who was on this show and defected from you to Reform, says more Tories will defect as well. Is he talking about you?
No, he's not talking about me. And, you know, Thomas made a choice, but in terms of, you know, moving forward, which we will as a party, it's about that positive policy offering that we will give to the people of Scotland. And I'm excited in terms of the own brief that I have of housing, that we will have we'll have manifesto promises in terms of what we will do to tackle big issues like the housing emergency here in Scotland.
Gemma Kearney, could Reform become a major political party?
I want to ask you guys, because if you think yes, then I need to move. Genuinely.
What 7% of Scots voted for Reform at the general election?
Yeah.
Predictions they could get 12 seats in the Scottish Parliament next year.
All I can say is I really, really hope not. I really hope that we can find ways of creating equality and fairness and empowerment for everybody in this country. Because I came to Scotland 5 years ago, tracing roots and looking from a futurist perspective that it was a place that was different to England. So I really hope that that's not going to be the case in terms of the future of what I see as potentially a very fascist company. I say company, I mean, there's a Freudian slip. A fascist political party.
They would deny
over.
that, of course.
Of course.
Richard Baker, they pushed you into second place in that poll.
So clearly Reform is having a big impact in Scottish and UK politics. I mean, Nigel Farage has had several political parties before which have imploded. The Brexit Party, remember, UKIP. What he's promised this country in terms of the benefits of Brexit have not been realised. I'd like to see him put under more scrutiny on that. I'd like to also see him be scrutiny for his policies. His policies on NHS, I do not think would resonate with many people in this room. So I do think we have to do far more to scrutinise his policies. I think that's a job for politicians. It's also, I think, speaks about the media in this country, where the media is going, where people are getting their news. I think it's very, very worrying to hear about less fact-checking on social media, and that's where politicians like Farage, I'm afraid, have a big impact, and it's a challenge for all of us.
Michelle Thompson?
Well, yes, they could if people vote for them. So I've got sympathy with what Megan says. It's incumbent upon us all to listen to you. This is exactly why we come and get eaten alive by you guys. It's excellent in these shows. We all need to be listening to you because in some respects, it's a cry for help. But the problem is with Reform, what are they for? And that wasn't a Freudian slip. They're a private, limited company. And any profit that goes into that can go directly to Nigel Farage as a principal shareholder. I don't know if you were aware of that. So we have to be very wary, but I think that all political parties have got a job of work to do to be seen, to be listening to you guys. Quite